Hi, it's Kylie. Welcome to my studio. So today I'm working on hashtag Love Spring Art 2017 for the Creative Arts Collaboration, and you can use that hashtag in the YouTube search bar to find the work of the other artists participating. So today I'm doing a small canvas, and I'm going to start by taking that burnt umber and really just putting it all over the canvas. I just want to get a nice base coat. Not looking to apply it evenly at all, and just dry brushing it on and making sure that I also get the sides done. I give this a light dry but still leave it a little bit damp because I want to use this tarnished brass distress spray, and the reason I've left it a little bit damp is that will help to grab the colour and will stop it spreading too much. Again, I give that a very quick dry, but then take a piece of paper towel just to dab it. And again, looking for quite an uneven finish here. Much of this will be covered up, but I just want it to be there as the base layer. So I've pulled out a number of scraps of papers. Mainly they're Tim Holtz papers from different packs, so yeah, I don't have the exact pack, but if you did want to know, let me know and I can certainly look for them. So really all I'm doing here is looking at different elements that I think fit with the theme of spring. And for me just now, spring is really about all the birds that's in the garden, all the flowers that's starting to appear. We have had some reasonable spring weather. Well, when I say that, we had a couple of days, but today it's gone back to being very cold, it's very windy, and it's raining. But nevertheless, one can still see that spring is coming. And I know for a lot of you in the States, you've had a particularly harsh start to spring, so, you know, I hope things are getting better there. We're feeling the after effects of that now with the blast of coldness that we've had again. So all I'm doing here is looking at what papers I might incorporate. Really, I'm making this mainly a kind of collage piece today. And this is quite a quick and easy way to pull something together. This didn't take me terribly long to do this whole piece. And here I am just taking off the edges, the straight edges. I didn't want to have any piece of paper to have a straight edge. So I've got my layout there, and I'm going to start to use some matte medium to glue it all in place. Now sometimes when I'm putting the pieces back down, I'll end up putting them in different places. But because I was working on quite a small canvas, I wanted to make sure that I got everything exactly where I wanted it. So you'll see me going back and forward a couple of times, just checking where everything fits. So I'm taking a piece of greaseproof paper and just using a bone folder just to make sure that that's fully adhered. Now you do have to be careful even with the greaseproof paper, because if glue attaches to it and you then stick it down onto another piece of paper, it can lift the top from it, and I've done that I don't know how many times in the past. Today I'd obviously told myself beforehand to be careful, and yeah, I managed to get through it without any mishaps. So just building the layers up here, checking again that I know where everything is going to go. So once that's all in place, I take more of that distress spray, and just with a paintbrush I just go round the kind of rough edges of each of the pieces of paper. Just wanted to take away the pieces of white that was left with the tears. Now obviously this is something I could have done beforehand, but you know, I'd kind of already thought that this might be a way to do it. It also adds just that little bit of colour to the overall piece. So once I work my way around all those pieces, I then just take what's left of the ink and just spread it out with a paintbrush around the edge. Now when I'd put the pieces down, I was looking to leave a little border, but I didn't necessarily want it to be the same size of border all the way around, which is why you'll see that some pieces of the collage that I put down are indented. So not looking to create any straight lines there at all. And then just taking the rest of that ink and just starting to put it on various bits of the paper. This just starts to bring it together. And another quick dry at this stage. So I now want to make a sentiment, and I'm keeping it very simple and just putting down spring. Now often I will hold the various letters together with an elastic band, but today I wanted something that was a bit more uneven, and I wanted the letters to actually be a bit closer together. I didn't want them taking up too much space. And I think after my recent spelling mishap in my previous video, I kept looking and checking that I'd actually got the spelling right. So a quick blast of the heat gun on that to make sure it's sealed, and then I just tear it a little bit smaller, and I'll take some of the black StazOn ink and go around the edges. So until today in my studio I still had up my winter canvas, so this will now go up immediately. It's finished. So that I'm reminded that it is now in fact spring, or at least the spring equinox will be in just a couple of days, a few days. So now just taking the Stabilo awl and going around the outer edge of the papers. This just helps to give it a bit of definition and separates it from the kind of base canvas. And just with some water, just spreading that out a little. Now some of it will just sink into the kind of texture of the canvas itself, so I wasn't looking to wash it out too much. Then I take it again, I go round the sentiment, although it was kind of slipping a little bit because the glue there was still a little bit wet, but that's okay because I'll go back and do it again. And then I just take the pencil and just highlight just some of the kind of corners, a little bit of the edges of the papers, just to show the different layers, and again just to bring depth to the whole piece. And again just brushing that out a little with some water. And again another quick dry. So I decided at this point to add some twinkling H2Os, just to add in a little bit more colour here and there. I wanted to introduce some kind of spring colours, I guess. So this is Harvest Sol. It's quite a deep, rich colour, but I just wanted to use some of that to help pull it into the background. You know, the edges, give it that bit of colour, bringing it over a bit. But again, also through the use of these colours, just to add a bit more depth to it. This one is Mystique, which is a kind of teal turquoise type colour. Just giving that hint of blue that we're starting to see in the sky, etc. Okay, the sky's not exactly this colour, but I'm sure you know what I mean just in terms of introducing that kind of colour. Tim Holtz papers are always quite, for want of a better word, grungy, and I love the look of them, but sometimes I just want to bring a little bit more colour to them. So it's about trying to get that balance between keeping the nice effect of them there, but just adding a little bit more. So this colour, which I couldn't get to focus, is Spanish moss, so just a type of green. Quite a subtle colour, but again it just adds that little something. I always just start by adding just a little bit, and then once I see that it works, I just keep going until I get to that point that I feel that I'm satisfied with it. So the papers did kind of suck that in a bit. They dried quite quickly. So I decided that I wanted to actually seal this in, and unusually for me I decided to use a gloss glue. I just felt that this would help it stand out a little. Now I've used gloss Mod Podge before, it's the first time I've used this particular one, and yeah, I'll see how it goes, but certainly immediately after doing it and once it dried a bit, I was really quite pleased with it. So just as I'm doing that, just let me remind you that if you want to see the work of the other artists participating, then your ticket to do so is to use the hashtag LoveSpringArt2017. And if you just use that in the YouTube search bar, you should find the work of the others. So that's it. It's almost dry at this stage. There's still a couple of pieces that need to dry a bit longer, but you know, another half hour or so and that should be done. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.